Welcome back, everyone, to Magic with Class. I am Jeremy Class, coming to you once again with one of these amazing Commander Draft booster boxes. Hopefully, today we can open something absolutely amazing. Will I finally be able to crack a Mana Drain? Will I finally be able to open a Jeweled Lotus? Is a scroll rack in my future? Or will a vampiric tutor pop on in and grace us with its tutelage? So here is the box. Let me get that open. Always starts with this little insert. And let me bring this a little closer so you can see the packs in all of their Commander Legends glory. So 24 boosters. Move that a little bit to the side. And we're just going to crack these open. And we'll begin. I'll go quickly through the commons. Everyone just wants to really see the rares and or mythics, but there you go. I'll just go, let me face it this way so you guys can see. Bring that a little, yep. Okay. Nothing particularly good in the common slot. Oh, I forgot there's actually quite a number of commons in the draft boosters. They are 20 card boosters instead of the usual 15. And I told myself I was going to try a little bit harder to make sure that my piles are straight. Charcoal Diamond, not bad in the common slot. Let's see. We got the Saracen, another decent common. Soul's Fire, not the worst common in the world. Alright, and the last common is in Armillary Spear, which is also a perfectly playable Commander Legends card. Good in both draft, limited, and it's also decent in certain Commander decks that struggle with ramp or really need lands in their hands. So let's go through the uncommons. Much better. We have Fate's Fetters. This is not the original art, but I do believe that this art was used in the past. We have an Angelic Armaments, and we have a Hunter's Insight. And our first rare is the decent Court of Bounty, probably the best out of the Court cycle. And I will play it probably in a number of decks. Now we have our two legendaries. We have Reyev, Master Smith, which I've opened a few of these. And we also have Essior, my Wardwing familiar, the blue participant in the familiar cycle. Did you know that whoever you partner this familiar with, this bird right here will think that they're the familiar? And our foil is a Sentinel Spider. I'm just going to put the foil over the commons for now. And I will clean up later. And we have a zombie token that I'm just going to put to the side. So pack 2. So not a bad start. Court of Bounty is a decent rare. Anything that lets you pretty much put a creature into your hand, from your hand onto the battlefield for free, deserves a second look. And in addition, if you are the monarch, if you can maintain the monarchy, then Court of Bounty will allow you to draw a card every turn. So one of the issues with these cards is that you may not have anything in your hand worth putting down. Yes, you can always put down a land, but what if you run out of big creatures to put onto the battlefield? Well, Court of Bounty can help you there, because as long as you are the monarch, you will be able to draw additional cards, always worthwhile in green. So, okay, I'm going through the commons quickly. Forceful Denial is a decent common. A card with Cascade that is also a counterspell. Thorn of the Black Rose is a decent common, allows you to be the Monarch. And we are going straight into our uncommons. Yeah, that's fine. We have our Arca Orzhov Advocist. We have our Vow of Wildness. I thought this card was Vow of Wilderness, but nope, it's Wildness. We have a Patron of the Valiant. And in our rare slot, we have the Flamekin Herald. And what will our two legendaries be? It will be Immolti, Celebrant of Bounty, Blue-Green Cascade Commander, and we have Arden, Intrepid Archaeologist, which is an awesome aura and equipment commander. I would partner it with something red, because I think red-white right now are the two best colors for that style of deck, equipment and aura-based decks. They certainly pushed that combination in Commander Legends in terms of playable Boros cards that work well with equipment and auras, specifically equipment, but there are some good auras that you'll want to use in that style of deck. Next pack, that overall was not the best pack, however, but we will keep going. Okay, well, there's a common command tower here, so can't have enough command towers. Basically, any multicolor commander deck will want to run command tower, and I have like 20 or 30 commander decks, so I could always use another command tower. I don't think I had 20 or 30 command towers. So our uncommons, oh no, I missed a common. Spectral Searchlight. So here are our uncommons: Coastline Marauders, Pirate. Here's another Pirate, Merchant Raiders. We have probably the best uncommon in the set, 3 Visits. And our rare is Slash the Ranks, which is not the best removal spell of all time. Not the best rare in this set. It does take care of Planeswalkers for the low price of 5 mana. And it saves your commanders. Would also save your opponent's commanders though, if they have them out. But I assume if you're casting Slash the Ranks, either you don't care if your opponents keep their commanders, there's something else that's threatening on the board, or I'm sure you have a good reason. Maybe your opponent is playing a Super Friends commander deck and they have like a trillion Planeswalkers. This can do an awesome job of getting rid of them. And now we have our uncommon legendaries in Numa Juraga Chieftain, which is a elf, legendary elf with partner. And we have Miara, Thorn of the Glade, and I would probably run these two if I was running an elf deck that wanted to use 2 partner commanders. So those go actually very well together as a pair. And our foil is the common Dragon Egg. Nothing really to say there. I guess watch out when that Dragon Egg hatches, because you will be facing a 2/2 dragon with fire breathing. And the token was, the 2 tokens that we got so far are a copy token and a salamander warrior token and a zombie token. I just put the tokens to the side. I'm not really a big fan of tokens in general. I rarely use them even in decks that create lots of tokens. I just use something else to represent the tokens, usually dice. So let's keep going. Flood of Recollection I actually like as a common in this set. I got Fire Diamond as well. All of these diamond cards, can't really have too much of them. They're also pretty good. And before this set, they were actually going up in value. Now that they're common, and it seems like they are in almost every pack, I don't think they will maintain that value. So let's see, we have Kanji's Lieutenant as an uncommon, Golem Artisan, and we have Lore Seeker's Stone. So this can draw you 3 cards every turn. You just need to not have any cards in your hand, right? Draw 3 cards. This ability costs 1 more to activate for each card in your hand. Oh, so that's not as good as I thought it was. I thought that it reduced the cost by one, but no, you have to pay one more for every card in your hand. So if you have two cards in your hand, this costs 6 just to get on the battlefield, and then if you have two cards in your hand, you would have to pay 5 and tap it to draw 3 cards. So, I guess. In the rare slot, we have Kamal's Will. And as for the legendary creatures, we have Rebek, Architect of Ascension. Not the best uncommon legendary creature, I must say, but at least it's somewhat interesting. But, I thought they were going to give white a lot of power in this set, and I kind of don't see that. White had some decent cards. I'm not going to say that it was totally shafted, but I think they could have given it some more oomph, some more power. A lot of people have been complaining about white in Commander. A lot of people are saying that white cannot compete with the other colors, and I don't think that's true. I see plenty of Commander decks that run white, maybe not as the main color, but it is a good support color. Alright, and I just skipped some things. Sorry, the second uncommon legendary creature is Tekek Salvage Splicer. This is a card flavored from New Phyrexia, which was once Maraudon. The Splicer cycle, there were a bunch of Splicers in the New Phyrexia Scars of Maraudon sets. They were centered in blue, green, and white. Kind of odd that they only made one in green, because I thought the best one was probably Blade Splicer, which was in white. So maybe when we return to New Phyrexia, we will see more of these splicers. And ooh, the foil is pretty spicy. We got a foil Hull Breacher. Probably not as good as a foil opposition agent, but I will definitely take it. That's probably one of the better rares in the entire set. Gives blue the ability to create treasure tokens, and blue is excellent with artifacts in general, but blue is not the best ramp color, and this gives blue an option to ramp. Alright, so I'm going through the commons quickly. Preordain is not bad. Terramorphic Expanse. Alright, here we go. Now we're at our uncommons, so I'll put the commons right here. We have, as our uncommons, we have Humble Defector. We have Reclamation Sage. This used to see a lot of play. I don't think it sees as much play anymore. We have a Hero's Blade. And our rare is the not great Laboratory Drudge. And ooh, this is spicy. We have a Tevish Zot, Doom of Fools. And I believe this is a borderless Tevish Zot. Non-foil, however, but I was looking forward to opening a Tevish Zot, one of the better mythics in the set. And the other legendary creature is, well, the other one that can be used as your commander, I should say, since Tevish Zot can also be used as your commander, is Elegith, Crossroads Augur, which is also a rare. Really good in a Scry-based deck. I never thought that I would see a commander, especially one with partner, that really wants you to use as many Scry cards as possible. But here we are. And we have our foil, Exquisite Hunts Master. I'll just put it in the common pile. And I'll sort that out a little later. That one looks a little faded, but many of the foils do in this set. I guess it's just a printing thing. I wonder where they printed Commander Legends anyway. They could, since these packs have 20 cards, I think they could not print them in all facilities, which is why I think the set was originally delayed. A lot of people thought it was because of the pandemic situation, but I think it was because of printing issues, as well as, yes, of course, there was that situation that is still ongoing even now. Rupture Spire as a common. Alright, we just went through all the commons. Nothing great there. Alright, we have Fathom Fleet Swordjack as an uncommon. Works well with artifacts. And equipments, of course, are artifacts, so there's that. Scaled Behemoth, an uncommon. We have Confiscate, another uncommon. And ooh, this is the first time I opened a Opposition Agent non-foil. Just a regular Opposition Agent, but considering Opposition Agent is worth more than a lot of the mythics in the set, it's a good hit. Very good hit. This box, I think, is doing me a lot more favors than the other Commander Legends draft box. And now the two legendary creatures are Dargo, the Shipwrecker, one of the better uncommons in the entire set, and one of the better partners in the set. I would probably pair it with either Jessica or the black-blue partner. What was his name? Silas Wren, I believe it was. I could see a deck that uses either of those as a partner. And here we have Sayani, Eye of the Storm, which is decent. I could pair this with the mono blue rare that we just opened, the one that draws when you should be scrying. I could see them being paired together as well. And we have a foil skilled animator, nothing special in the foil slot. And so we continue our hunt for the Jeweled Lotus, our hunt for Mana Drain, and our hunt for Vampiric Tutor. And we haven't opened the Scroll Rack either, even though Scroll Rack is not as valuable as it was even just a week ago. But that last pull, the Opposition Agent, that was pretty spicy. Can never turn down an Opposition Agent. It's one of the more hyped cards in the entire set. Alright, so we go through our commons. Sisei's Ring was the last common there. Sisei's Ring just not as good as it was. I would not play it, Sisei's Ring, in a commander deck unless I had no other option. In draft, it must be amazing though. If people are drafting this set, I would definitely try to draft a Sisei's Ring or two. So here are our uncommons. We have Vow of Flight, Return to Dust, which is an okay still. See, this is a good white card. Kuwambaj Witches. Ooh, I saw it before you guys did. The mythic, rare, highly valued Mana Drain. So I hit a Mana Drain, and I'm going to take this time to actually open the sleeves, because Mana Drain is just valuable enough that I think it should be put into a sleeve straight away. And while I'm at it, I will also put this Opposition Agent in a nice sleeve. That was an amazing hit. As I thought, this box is significantly better than the previous one. Those are two big hits back to back. We had the Opposition Agent, and then in the very next pack we hit Mana Drain, which I think is the most expensive card in the set as of right now. I could be wrong. Prices are changing very quickly. However, I think Mana Drain will always hold its value. I think the price of Mana Drain will eventually go up again. And our legendary uncommons are Abomination of Lorner. And we got an extra rare in this pack. So overall, this was an amazing pack. We have Kolfenor, the second to last U, because he was not the last one in the story. And for our foil, we got the common Iona's Judgment. So wow, so we already hit a mythic rare Mana Drain. I don't know if we're going to be able to top that. Seems unlikely. That was probably the big hit of the box, and it was the biggest hit I've hit so far in opening Commander Legends. Yeah, I mean, commons are not that important. You don't need to see those commons as clearly as you need to see these other cards. Let me just, nope, wrong way, no. There we go, because no one really cares about the commons, so I'll just leave them over there. It's all about those rares, mythics, and legendary creatures in Commander Legends, as it should be, right? I am hoping to draft this set, though, when things are a little safer. Looks like an amazing set to just rip open and draft. So here are the commons. Nothing particularly interesting there. I'll just add it to my growing commons pile. Here are the uncommons. It's a Vow of Torment, Dreamstone Hedron. Used to be better. Now there's a lot of ramp. Armorcraft Judge. And for our rare, we got the Body of Knowledge. I like, actually, Body of Knowledge. I have a blue-green deck that, like, almost all of the cards draw or care about, like, the number of cards in your hand. And this one gives me no maximum hand size, which not many cards do. It also can allow me to draw quite a bit, and its power and toughness will be equal to the number of cards in my hand. So definitely, I have a deck that this will slip right into. As far as our legendary creatures, we have the uncommon Prava of the Steel Legion. I don't know what I'm going to partner him with, but I know the theme will be tokens. There might have a sub-theme of caring about toughness in some way, since he gives the tokens a huge buff in toughness, but we shall see. The other one is Armex, Fillery Thrasher, which is meh. I'm not the biggest fan of that legend, but it's better than some of the other ones. Now we have a foil Prying Eyes, which is just a common. And then we have the legend himself, Prismatic Piper. I think this is the first Prismatic Piper that we've opened in this box. Not as common as I honestly thought it was going to be. I saw people opening like Prismatic Pipers every other pack, and haven't really opened too many of that guy. I think in the last box I counted, I only opened 4, which is about, which for a common card, or an even more common than common card, is, it's decent. Marble Diamond in the common slot, Farhaven Elf in the common slot. Alright, now we're going to go to our uncommons. Speaking of token decks, here is a good token support card. Creature tokens you control get +1/+1 and have vigilance. Before I show you the card, what is it? Did you guess Intangible Virtue from one of the Innistrad sets? If you did, you are quite correct, because that's what it is. We have Feast of Succession as our next uncommon. Interesting, because it allows you to become the Monarch, even though it's a sorcery. And we have a mythic, but it's not a great one. It's Seraphic Greatsword. Now, I think that this is one of the weaker mythics in the entire set. It has so many restrictions. I don't know why you needed to attack the person with the most life to activate this ability. That seems extremely unnecessary on a mythic rare card. Especially, this is a colored equipment as well, so it's not like it's colorless. And that equip cost is very high. I know there's a ton of ways to mitigate the equip cost, get around that equip cost, but if you were going to try to give white some powerful cards, I think you could have done better than Seraphic Greatsword, and its value is pretty much nothing. I think it's $2 or less, and it's going to go down to a 50-cent or dollar mythic. So that's disappointing. We also have Glacian, Powerstone Engineer, another very disappointing uncommon legendary creature, but I guess this one's more forgivable because it's in blue. And doesn't blue have enough good stuff? This pack had an extra rare, Livio, Oathsworn Sentinel. Another card that I'm just not a fan of. I do not like this legendary creature much. It is very slow. Its ability requires a tap, and it also requires an additional mana investment. And it doesn't even blink or flicker immediately. You have to kind of jump through so many hoops to get this Human Knight going that I just don't think it's worth it. Okay, here we have a foil common again, Lys Alana Bowmaster, not much to say there, and an Elf Warrior token. So moving right along, I do not even know what pack we are on now, but I will say we're about halfway through the box from the looks of it. So we're going to go through our commons very quickly. Fall from Favor. This is a card that a lot of people are talking about. 3 mana, makes you the Monarch, and it's like a pseudo removal spell in blue. Sky Diamond, another good blue card. Well, it's an artifact, but it taps for blue. Maelstrom Colossus, a common Cascade card. Commander Spear, decent. I still have some decks that run a Commander Spear, but I tend to use mana rocks that are 2 mana or less these days. The 3 mana and up ones are just not as good as they once were because there's just so many options at 2 mana or less for mana rocks. However, at any point you can sacrifice Commander Spear to draw a card for no mana, so in the late game, when you no longer have a need for the mana and the acceleration, you just cash it on in for a card for free. Alright, here are our uncommons. Thirst for Knowledge, Make a Stand, Meteor Golem, and our rare is Zat's Will. We opened a borderless Zat earlier. I should have put that into a sleeve actually. I might do that in a moment or two. Okay. And our uncommon legendaries are Jury Master of the Review, and we have an additional rare in this pack in the form of Sengir, Dark Baron, and ooh, interesting, decent. We have a etched foil Abomination of Lorna, and I'm just trying to get that on the screen. Etched foil or foil etched, whatever you want to call it. There's usually only one of these per box. I opened one in the last video as well, and here we do. We do have a prismatic Piper that I'll put in the common slot. Let's keep going. So that pack was okay. We got one of these foil etch cards. We got the Sengir as our rare, and we also got Zat's Will. So that was an okay pack. Still looking for Jeweled Lotus. Still looking for Vampiric Tutor. Always, all day, every day. Looking for those. Charcoal Diamond, Viserys Seer, Artillery Spear, Command Tower. These were decent commons. Kodak Shredder is a decent uncommon. Arcane Signet, as I said, can't have enough of these. Every commander deck should pretty much run an Arcane Signet, with very few exceptions. Remember when Arcane Signet was like $20, where the price of an Arcane Signet was like the same as the Brawl decks that they appeared in? They've reprinted Arcane Signet to death, including in the Secret Lair Secretversary Super Drop that's coming out. There's an Arcane Signet in one of those secret layers. The art is nice on that one. So we have our Deal of Nalia, and our rare is Keeper of the Accord, which is actually quite a good white card. Non-legendary though, but it does something that white doesn't often do, and that's ramp you in terms of mana. It can also, of course, generate creature tokens, but that's something that white does all the time. You're playing this so that you can ramp in white, mono white, or Boros maybe. We have our uncommon legendaries, Kanji, Sky Warden, and also about this, the Shadow Cat familiar, this Nightmare Cat. Let me take a second to straighten out these piles a bit. You know what? And while I'm doing that, I'm going to put my Tevish Zot and my Abomination of Lorna in sleeves. The Tevish Zot is actually borderless too, so gotta try to keep these cards in good condition. I will eventually do a deck tech where I'll use some of the cards that you're going to see in this video in decks that I actually create. I am looking forward to building a whole bunch of Commander decks in using these cards from Commander Legends. Alright, and our foil is Pirate's Cutlass, which is really not worth talking about. How my piles doing? Pretty good. Can you see the commons? No, that's fine. Let's keep on right on opening. You can see the uncommons, you can see the legendaries. I'll tell you if there's a spicy common that pops up. There are some good commons in the set. Howling Golem, another Dragon Egg, Spontaneous Mutation, Slip Ascendant, Findhorn Elves. I like how they printed Findhorn Elves. Not a lot of people know about this card, not a lot of people have this card. It's not as famous as its Lorna Elves cousin, so I'm glad they chose to reprint Findhorn Elves over Lorna Elves so that more people can get the opportunity to experience that card. We also have Fleshbag Marauder in our common slot and a Path of Ancestry. And then here we go to the uncommons. We have, I don't want my commons to fall, oh no. We have Pen on Blade as an uncommon, Cast Down, which is decent pinpoint removal. We have Grafted War Gear, and this is a card, another card I have not opened yet, and it is a Commander's Plate. This is an awesome equipment. I think that's worthy of a sleeve. It's an amazing equipment. It is mostly going to be used in Commander. It can be used outside of Commander, but if it is used outside of Commander, that equip cost is a little prohibitive. But in Commander, you usually want to defend that commander. You usually want to keep your commander on the board. So there it is. You got the Commander's Plate right there. Okay, I'm gonna move it a little bit. That was a pretty good hit, I will say. And let's finish off this pack. Keep getting distracted. Tormod the Desecrator. Oh, I haven't opened this guy yet. Hamza, Guardian of Arashin. And finally, we have a foil Spectral Searchlight and a Monarch token. Oh, okay. They fixed the Monarch tokens. There was an error in the original Monarch token where it was like missing a word. So I don't think they ever corrected that error. I could be wrong. I have a copy of the Monarch token with the error on it, so I'm glad they finally found a place to correct that error. Okay. So I went through the comments. Nothing to see there. Well, you know what? Crimson Fleet Commodore, I didn't realize it's an Ogre Pirate. It's a 5/2 for just 4 mana in red. 1 red. 3 of anything. Has Trample, which is okay. And when it enters the battlefield, you become the Monarch. So that's not bad in red. Red sometimes struggles with card drawing, less in the modern era than it used to. It's getting plenty of cards that could produce card advantage in today's game, which is a big improvement in red. I hope we see more of that, and I hope we see more of that in white. So, okay, uncommons. Furnace Celebration, Warden of Evil's Isle, Naudier's Night Blade, and is this the first one we opened? Spectator Seeding, one of those almost dual lands. It produces red or white mana, and it comes into play untapped, but only if you have more than one opponent, right? Two or more, yeah. Basically, if you have two or more opponents. So in Commander, they're almost as good as the original duels. Of course, they do not have basic land types, which limits their searchability. But any land that can produce two colors of mana and can come into play untapped is worth considering in Commander. You do not want a lot of your lands to come into play tapped. That slows down your tempo, and you want to be able to utilize all your mana every turn. As far as the uncommon legendaries, we have Malcolm, Keen-Eyed Navigator. Ooh, I missed a card. And oh, we have a mythic rare in Sakashima of 1,000 Faces. This is the second Sakashima that I actually opened. Sakashima is a very cool card. The legend rule does not apply to you, so you can have many legendary creatures on the battlefield, even if they have the same name, which is something that you really could not do. Yes, there's Mirror Gallery. I am looking forward to making a Sakashima deck. I'll put that in the sleeve. I'm looking forward to making a Sakashima deck that has a ton of clones and a ton of copy effects. Who I'll partner Sakashima with? I was thinking Akroma, Vision of Ixidor, which is a card I actually have not opened yet, unfortunately. But we'll see. Maybe I'll get lucky and I'll open an Akroma. Let us continue. That was actually a very good pack. We got a Mythic Rare in Sakashima, and we also got one of the lands. I keep calling them Battle Bond lands, because that's where the cycle was first started. But I guess I'll call them the Commander Legends dual lands, maybe? But I think a lot of people call them the Battle Bond lands. Alright, going through my commons. Nothing to see here, they're saying. Annoyed Altasaur, not bad. Reach, Trample, Cascade, 6/5 for 7. Not awful. I actually got quite a few Cascade cards in the common slot in this pack. Alright, now we're going to go to our uncommons. Meteoric Mace, another Cascade card. Skilled Animator. Volcanic Torrent, and our rare is yet another one of these Battle Bond Commander Legends lands. This one, the black-white one, Vault of Champions. So overall, not bad. What else we got? We also have, in our uncommon legendary slot, Arumi of the Dead Tide. And we have the rare, so this was a double rare pack, Belby Corrupted Observer, Zombie Elf. There are other zombie elves in Magic. Oh, and the foil was a Valve Flight. There are other zombie elves in Magic. Glycera, the Trader, is one of them. Can you name another zombie elf that has been printed in Magic? Tell me in the comments. Alright, let's keep going. I'm getting a little better at opening these packs. I guess the more you open, the easier it becomes. Alright. So we got Moss Diamond as a common. Nothing else to see here. Prophetic Prism. Not awful. Alright, here are uncommons. We got, okay, let me just, Lightning Rig Crew. Horizon Scholar. Imperious Perfect. This is probably one of my favorite non-legendary uncommons, Imperious Perfect. It is a reprint, but you gotta love a good Elf Lord. Especially an Elf Lord that can make its own Elf army to power up. And now, oh, our rare is yet another Hull Breacher. So I got both an opposition agent and a Hull Breacher in this box. So overall, this is a fair to good box, and we are not even done with it. And our legendaries are Alaharu, Solemn Ritualist, not bad in a +1/+1 counter or token deck. And this is a double rare pack, and we have Obeka, Brute, Chronologist. A lot of people are making commander decks centered around Obeka, Brute, Chronologist. What's interesting is that she is causing a lot of cards to spike, especially cards that allow you to take an extra turn, but you lose at the end of that extra turn. Obeka obviously negates that negative part of the ability. With the lose trigger on the stack, you can tap her, end your own turn, and you will not lose the game. You will just take an extra turn for 2 mana. So even though she's seeing, well, a lot of people are building and talking about Obeka, I really don't see her price rising, unlike Hull Breacher, which is actually one of the most expensive cards in the set. More expensive than maybe 70, 80, 90% of the actual mythics. And in the foil slot, we have a 9th Bridge Patrol, not worth talking about, and a soldier token with nothing on the back. So that was actually the first Obeka Brute Chronologist that I opened. I was actually thinking about making a deck that has a whole bunch of those triggers that you lose the game at the end of the turn, or you lose the game unless you do something. Just making sure that you guys can all still see me, right? You guys can see me, right? Yeah, maybe that's a little easier. Alright, so we got some commons. We got a Preordain at common, a Marble Diamond, Thorn in the Black Rose at common, Fertilid at common, which is pretty good, Murder at common. That must be a pain to see, because I know there's going to be someone that just drafts a whole bunch of the Murder card. It's actually very good instant speed removal in Limited. I can see a person just drafting like 4, 5, 6 Murders because they're commons, and just anytime you play something decent, they just murder, she wrote. So let me see, our Armillary Spear, I wasn't even done with the commons. First Response is our first uncommon in this pack. Decent in a token deck. What else we got? Sunset Pyramid, originally from the Amonkhet block. Strength of the Pack, not a good card. And we have another Rings of Brighthearth. I have opened one before, but this was an extremely expensive rare at one point. It is not as expensive now, but I will say that its price will probably go up in value. Well, maybe if enough people use it in battle, its price will also increase, right? So Nadia, Agent of the Dusknull, is one of our legends in this pack, and the other one is the least, Reverent Medium. I will be making a black-white token deck that uses the least. I want to put the Increasing Devotion card in that deck. I opened the white Keeper of the Accord that puts tokens onto the battlefield, so I might include that in that deck as well. In the foil, we have a Doomed Traveler, just a foil common. And let's keep going. How many packs do I even have left here? 1, 2, 6, I believe. I think 6 packs left. Alright. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 commons. Okay, I just wasn't sure how many commons were actually in a pack. Looks like it's 12. You have the uncommon Open the Armory. Excellent in an equipment deck. Excellent in an aura deck. Excellent in a Boros deck. demonic lore. The only place I would play demonic lore is in that legendary imp deck. What's his name? The comedic genius. I haven't actually opened one of him. We have a monstrous onslaught, which is a kind of like a mass removal spell in green. And here's a card that I haven't opened either. A rare Dawnglade Regent. You become the monarch. And as long as you are the monarch, all of your permanents have hexproof. So this Dawnglade Regent is not messing around. I kind of wish they would have called him like Oko's Regent or Oko's Elf. Remember Oko when he was like turning everything into 3/3 elks and all the memes that people were putting on the internet with Oko? I think Oko would appreciate this elk, and it's actually a pretty good card in general. I wouldn't be surprised if it sees not just commander play, I think it's going to see a ton of commander play. Anything that gives your entire board basically hexproof is well worth it. Although you do need to keep the monarch. You do need to remain the monarch for that to happen. And when you play this card, you're going to have a huge target on your head. Not only does everyone want to be the monarch, isn't that life? But no one wants your permanents to have hexproof. Alright, and our Rulevid familiar, the green one in the familiar cycle, and Radiant Sarah Archangel. This is the second version of Radiant. She took over for Sarah after Sarah kind of abandoned Sarah's plane, so she created a plane. She was not herself an angel. She created a plane, populated it with a ton of angels, and then she left. Radiant took over, but she wasn't suited to the position. Only really a planeswalker could use the throne that you see her sitting on. So she went insane and bad things happened. But I think they did not do Radiant justice. She's a cool character in my opinion, and this is just a garbage card. And it's mono white too, and I thought they were going to give mono white some interesting legendary creatures. I would not make a deck using Radiant Sarah Archangel. And in the foil slot, we got the Valakut Invoker, just a common foil. And we got another Prismatic Piper. There he is. Making an appearance. You see, I haven't opened that many Prismatic Pipers. I mean, I opened more basic lands than I have in my life than I have Pipers. At least he's not in every single pack. They could have done that. Okay, let's see. Commons, Fire Diamond, Elvish Doomsayer. I like how they also have Elvish Visionary in the same set. And I kind of like how Elvish Doomsayer is like a mirrored image of Elvish Visionary. Elvish Visionary costs 2, 1 of anything, and 1 green. Elvish Doomsayer costs 2, 1 of anything, and 1 black. They're both Elf Shamans, I believe. They're both 1/1s. The only difference, when the Visionary enters the battlefield, you draw. But Elvish Doomsayer is, when it dies, each opponent discards a card. I guess it's not exactly a mirror, because if it was a mirror, it would just be maybe one player would have to discard, because Elvish Visionary doesn't make everyone draw, but close enough, right? Makes the card more powerful overall. Opal Palace in the common slot. Alright, here are our uncommons. We have a Fencing Ace, uncommon. Revenant, uncommon. Brass Herald. Golems were kind of a supported creature type in this set, although this works with any creature type. Not as good as it once was. We have Training Center, an interesting one of the land cycle. How many of those do we get? I think I'm going to count at the end how many in this land cycle we ended up getting. This is the blue-red member of that cycle. We also have, as our uncommon legendaries, Breaches, the Pirate, and also Captain of Vargas Wrath. Foil Kitesail Skirmisher, which is also a human pirate, but just a common. Alright, let's keep going. I think at this point I've opened one of each of the dual lands in this set. I'm glad they put these lands in this set. They're very powerful, only really in Commander though, so the price is not likely to get too crazy because you're not going to see it played in any other format aside from Commander, unless I guess you consider Two-Headed Giant like a format, which I guess it is, right? Right. Battle Bond Limited was played with Two-Headed Giant rules, I think. Yes. Charcoal Diamond, Viserys Seer, Command Tower, excellent commons, right in a row. Soul's Fire, decent. Spectral Searchlight, decent. Alright, here we go. Here are the uncommons. Angelic Ornaments, this is the second time. I don't like this card at all. Volcanic Dragon, not good at all either. Frenzied Saddle Brute. Now, this kind of encourages your opponents to not attack you, to attack your other opponents, because if they do, they can attack as though they had haste. It also has haste itself, and also allows your creatures to attack as though they had haste. However, this does not grant haste, I should mention, and not only does this not grant haste, you also can't use tap abilities. He only lets you attack as though you had haste. He does not let you tap for tap abilities as though you had haste. So, there's that. Oh, Court of Ire. The red member of the Court cycle. This one is decent. If you are the Monarch, it will allow you to do 7 damage to a player or a permanent. To a player or a permanent. 7 damage is a lot every single turn. And if you're drawing a card every single turn, and you're able to deal 7 damage to a player or a permanent every single turn, you will quickly win the game. Imagine if you played this with a card that like doubles or triples damage. Now that's a lot of damage per turn while you're drawing. So that's interesting. Our uncommon legendaries are Halana, Kessig Ranger, and Toggle, Goblin Weaponsmith. I'm just going to call him Rocky when I see him. He should have been Rocky, Goblin Weaponsmith, since he just, uses rocks all day. Then we have Golem Artisan as our foil. It's a foil uncommon, but meh. We have how many packs remaining? 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the one in my hand is the 5th one. Alright, so we have a few more packs, but I dropped the pack. Oh no. I hope there wasn't. Well, I do still hope there's a dual lotus or a vampiric tutor in here, right? Hopefully I didn't damage it. Alright. Let's keep it right on moving. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fleshbag Marauder, not a bad common. Raise the Alarm, Finderhorn Elves, Murder, Path of Ancestry, Prophetic Prism. Nothing to see here. Alrighty then. I think we got all the hits we're going to get in this box, which is already pretty good. We did open Mana Drain. We did open a Borderless Planeswalker, so I can't really complain. We did open quite a few of those dual lands. Anything else we opened that was particularly spicy? Oh, we opened a Hull Breacher. We opened an Opposition Agent. So this was a good box. Decent box. Alright, we have our Mindless Automaton. We have Burning Anger. Uncommon, Slaughter the Strong. And in our rare slot, we have Court of Grace. So 2 courts back to back. This is the white court. Right under it is the red court. The white court is pretty decent. It's decent. You want to be making 4/4 Flying Angels all day, and since white is probably the worst, absolute worst at card draw, becoming the Monarch and keeping the Monarch is one of the few ways that white can draw every single turn. So our uncommon legendary is Keskit, the Flesh Sculptor. and Ghost of Ramirez de Pietro, which also had a card in Original Legends, I believe. And we have Defiant Salvager as a common foil. And moving right along, because I know this video is getting pretty long, but wouldn't you just be really impressed if I opened a Jeweled Lotus or Vampiric Tutor in the close? How many mythics did we get in this box? We got the Mana Drain, we got the Sephiric Garbage Sword, we got the Borderless Planeswalker Tevish Sot. That was 3. Oh, and we got Sakashima, so that's 4. So we may get maybe one more mythic, if that. We might have already gotten all the mythics we're going to actually open in this box. But again, can't really complain with what we got. I did open a Jessica in the last box too. Just a normal Jessica. So I opened both Planeswalkers in this set. I really think this set should have had more than 2 Planeswalkers. I think it should have had at least 3, if not more. If Planeswalker really is the most popular card type, why not release 5? Not all of them had to be your commander. Not all of them needed to have that option of also functioning as your commander. I would have been fine with I would have been absolutely fine with just some planeswalkers that are good in the commander format in general. Alright, so I skipped. Yeah, okay. So here are the commons. I almost skipped an uncommon. Burnished Heart, excellent ramp card in colors that don't typically ramp. We have a Vow of Lightning. We have our Stinger Fling Spider. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. We have, as our rare, Staff of Domination, which is a decent card. This card was so much more valuable last week and 2 weeks ago. Now it's only a few dollars, but an excellent card in the commander format. And our legendary creatures are Brittlin, the Moon Kraken, and Rograk, son of Rogoth. This is actually the first time I opened this little uncommon, this 0 mana uncommon. So I see a lot of people building commander decks around this one as well. Never underestimate a card that costs 0 that can be cast for free. And he has 3 keywords, so he's excellent in a aura or equipment based deck. He's excellent in anything that can give him buffs. I think we've all seen him paired with a Chroma Vision of Ixidor, because since he has 3 keyword abilities, she can automatically boost him by +3/+3. And if you have any equipment lying around that gives him more keyword abilities, no, I'm sorry, he actually gets +4/+4 with a Chroma, because he also has Partner, which a Chroma counts. So wow, that's a lot of power. So they pair really well. Ooh, I didn't even see this. At the back of the pack, we have one of the beautiful, gorgeous foil etched cards. This one is a mythic foil etched card, Marith, Willa of the Wild. This used to be a more popular commander. I don't think it sees as much play anymore. Wow, that's actually beautiful. The art is actually really beautiful. You know what? Since it's a mythic, and since we opened it out of a standard draft booster instead of a collector booster, I'll go ahead and I'll put it in a sleeve. I have plenty of sleeves. Okay, we even got a Prismatic Piper right in the back there. Alright, so that was probably the last mythic that we're going to get. We got a mythic foil etched. Overall, pretty cool, right? That's cool. You don't pull those every day in these draft boosters. I haven't opened a Thrasios. Alright, going through my commons. Not Marble Diamond, Moss Diamond. Opal Palace. Alright. Here we go. Let's go into our uncommons. Scholar of the Ages. Guildless Commons as an uncommon. I don't really see the point of this card, Guildless Commons. If you see the point of this card, Guildless Commons, in anything but a colorless deck, let me know, because I'm really not getting it. How is this better than any of the bounce lands from the original Ravnica block? It seems like the same, except it provides you 2 colorless instead of providing you with like 2 colors, but whatever. You have a Victimize. Okay, not the best rare. Aurora Phoenix. Ooh, sorry about that. Oh no. So we have Aurora Phoenix as our rare. We have Kedris, Emberclaw Familiar as an uncommon legendary. We have another rare legendary creature in Arkelos, Lagoon Mystic. And then we have a foil Commander's Spear. Alright, last 2 packs. Hopefully I can pull something absolutely spicy. Captain's Claw, Farhaven Elf as the commons. Commander's Spear, alright, as our last common. We have Siren Storm Tamer as our first uncommon. This needed a reprint, right? It was originally from Ixalan block. A decent 1 mana card. We have a Shimmermer, which was a rare, and it's been downshifted. Oh no. Sorry, there we go. Shimmermer. It's been downshifted to uncommon from rare. Very good in a artifact deck. It gives all of your artifacts. Well, it allows you to cast your artifacts as though they had flash, and it itself has flash. You have Noxious Dragon. And Bio-Waste Blob, a nice lord for oozes. And there is an ooze commander in this set. We have Toya Bearclaw as our uncommon legend. And we have, oh, this is a card I wanted to open. We have an extra rare legend. We have Lothio, the Bounteous Dawn. I've been looking forward to them printing more unicorns. I think unicorns are a very cool creature type, and I don't think they get enough credit. They're a fantasy staple, and yet Magic doesn't have that many unicorns in the game, and the ones that does have, some of them are not as good as they probably should be for such a staple fantasy race. But Lothio is actually a very good card. It's begging to be placed in a deck that has a ton of life gain. It's just a 2/2 for 4 though. They also printed that white unicorn in Jumpstart, but it has a white-green identity because its ability uses green and or white mana, I believe. So hopefully as more time passes, we will see more unicorns in green and white. And our foil is an Eyeblight Assassin with a soldier token. Alright, last pack, and then I'm going to end the video. Wish me luck. We have our commons, Core Cartographer, another card that allows white, mono white specifically to ramp. Massive, alright, so, I almost skipped, I actually skipped several uncommons, almost. We have our Supreme Will, an OK counterspell that can also draw you a card if you have nothing to counter. We have Pride of the Perfect, which is a decent power boost to elves. Massive Memory, one of the better equipments. Okay, and our last rare is Undergrowth Stadium, which is one of those dual lands. This one is the black-green one. And let's see what we have as far as our legends go. We have Glanra, Caller of Wirewood, uncommon. We have Zara, Renegade Recruiter, as a rare, an extra rare. Haven't opened this yet. And our foil is an Alaru Solemn Ritualist, an Uncommon Legend. So guys, I want to thank you for tuning in. Stay with me because over the next few days, I will be opening more Commander Legends for your viewing pleasure. I will be opening 2 more boxes of regular draft boosters over the next week, and I will also be opening 1 more collector box, so I know you're looking forward to that. We did finally get a mana drain, so 1 out of the 3 down. And I actually just want to count how many rares I got in the 24 packs that we just opened. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. So in total, we opened 38 rares and or mythics, which is actually quite good. We got a mythic foil etched. We got our Rings of Brighthearth. We got Hole Breacher, Sakashima. We got a whole bunch of the lands. Oh, we got a Commander's Plate as well. Forgot about that. Overall, I would say this box was quite good. We got a foil Hole Breacher as well. So hopefully in the future we can open some even spicier cards. I'm looking at you, Jewel Lotus. I'm looking at you, Vampiric Tutor. So this is Jeremy Class, and I'm here with you with Magic with Class, and I'm always reminding you guys to gather with class. Have a great night.